It's funny how like every championship team dating back to 2020 have just fell off. Like it's like a virus.
Free Giannis.
Yeah. He did this to himself.
Go free him.
He did, man. Free him, man. Hey, stay put.
I have something interesting little tidbit. So, NBA writer, he has come out. I don't remember his name, but I know he covers the sport. He said the reason why they don't do like how NFL does breakdowns and stuff like that is because the NBA fan base and the consumers of content, they want slop.
What is good, YouTube? This is your boy Aaron.
It's Brian.
This is the Courtside View Podcast, and we are back today to discuss the NBA. Now, it's been 2 weeks, and already it's going by fast. We are in November, and it's still early in the season. We really don't know how it's really going to look until around January. But so far, looking at the standings, the Cavs are 6-0. The OKC Thunder is 5-0. The Cavs, I still am a wait and see mode. They're one of the better offensive teams in the NBA right now. I'm just looking at their offensive, like they're averaging 124 points a game. That is like close to the Celtics, and they're averaging like 125.5 points per game. So I'm still in a wait and see mode with the Cavs. They did whoop my Lakers' ass a couple of nights ago, so. Hey, man.
I did not know the Suns was 4-1.
Yeah, Suns have been hooping. They've been hooping. They beat the Mavericks one night. They beat my team the other night. Yeah, they've been pretty solid. What is some of the biggest storylines that you would say in the NBA these past 2 weeks?
The biggest. First, I want to go to an Eastern Conference team, the Milwaukee Bucks.
I was thinking the same thing.
Dame and Giannis is not working out well, man. You got Doc Rivers, you got skin fade Doc Rivers and Mr. Salute Man Darvin Ham on the roster, and you're 1-4. And Giannis, now the rumors that Giannis could be traded, could demand a trade. Listen, it ain't looking good. You're 1-4. You are in the flag sweepstakes at this point, and it's not looking good. You got to turn around the season immediately.
I want to say this because it's funny. It's funny how like every championship team dating back to 2020 have just fell off. Like it's like a virus. It's like the Lakers win the championship, and then all of a sudden they fall off, and then the Bucks win the championship, and then they all of a sudden fall off. It's like the organization.
You could go back to 2019 with the Raptors.
That's true. That is true. I wouldn't put the Raptors on the list just for the simple fact that Kawhi, and you can't really fault them too much. Kawhi left them. Even though
like teams that kept their core guys.
Yeah, man. Like you can't. I can't really fault them. But if you want to add them to the list, you can add them to the list because they have fallen off. But like, it's just interesting how like the way that people were like portraying these teams. Like, oh my God, they have these great organizations.
They're gonna win 2 more rings or something crazy.
They're such a great organization, and all of a sudden they win a championship, and it's like a virus. It's like contagious. All of a sudden, they start making dumb decisions. They start making dumb moves, or they don't make enough moves. Like the Lakers, they trade for Russell Westbrook. And then the Milwaukee Bucks, they fire Mike Budenholzer that got them to the number 1 seed. They trade away Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard, and now they're just an old, unathletic team that is only good at shooting threes and can't defend to save their life, and they're always hurt. And the Denver Nuggets, all of a sudden, oh my God, they have one of the better benches in the NBA. Oh my God, they're such a deep team. Now they don't have any bench. Jamal Murray has regressed. He just got hurt. I think he's dealing with concussion now. They signed Russell Westbrook. It's just all over the place. It's so weird. Now the Boston Celtics are still great, so they're the last of those teams that are still playing high. But like, my God, those other teams, Warriors, another team where it's like, they win a chip, and then all of a sudden the Jordan Poole thing happens. They trade away Jordan Poole. They bring Chris Paul, who's washed. Yeah, it's just bad, man. All these teams, ever since they won a championship, it just hasn't boded well for them. But regardless, Milwaukee Bucks, we pointed this out before the season started. We knew this was going to happen with Doc Rivers and Darvin Ham as your coaches, as your top two coaches. The players are not going to receive any information that they say. They're probably blocking all that stuff out. Like, hey guys, we got to do this. Hey guys, yeah, you're being aggressive. You're doing all this. Salute. Like, people don't want to hear that. They're like, man, these dudes are clowns.
Them dudes.
These dudes are clowns. And we pointed this out when they fired the coach that they had, and then they brought in Doc Rivers.
He was like 28 and something.
Yeah, AJ Griffin.
Yeah, AJ Griffin.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, we're going to bring in Doc Rivers, and he's going to help the team. Like, no. Why? That's the worst coach you could bring in. They should have just had an assistant coach be the coach.
Something, because good grief.
Because at the end of the day, if the assistant coach is the coach, you're not going to have to sign, not going to have to sign him. You don't have him under contract for a whole bunch of money. Now, Doc Rivers, you have him under contract for like all these years, and you're paying him an enormous amount of money, and now you're stuck. You fired Budenholzer, got him on the books. You fire AJ Griffin, you have him on the books. You can't fire Doc Rivers because, again, you'll have 3 former coaches on your books that you have to pay. Rest in piss. Rest in piss. Hey, I have no sympathy for a team that hires Doc Rivers and hires Darvin Ham. I don't.
Free Honest.
Free Honest?
Yeah.
He did this to himself.
Nope, free him.
He did, man. Free him, man. Hey, stay put. You did this to yourself. You wanted AJ Griffin, and then you let him go. Not even halfway through the season. What was it, like either December or January, maybe?
That was like right before the All-Star break
right
or something.
before man, get out of here, bro. He did this to himself. He's like, I need another star. So
he didn't trade Drew Holiday.
No. He didn't trade Drew.
He didn't even approve of that one.
But the whole Damian Lillard stuff, like, come on, man.
Well, Dame should never say he wanted to play with him.
He wanted to go to Miami.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah. I have no sympathy for the man. Darvin Ham and, Doc Rivers, like, we all knew this was going to be a disaster. I don't know. I think you jinxed the team, too. You should have never went to the Bucks.
I ain't no Bucks. I'm a Wiz kid.
Nah, bro. There was a point. Everybody knows it. It was on camera. You pledged your allegiance to the Milwaukee Bucks for a season, and all of a sudden now they're not good
that
anymore.
season they did go to the conference finals.
They went to the semis. And they lost. Remember, Middleton got hurt. They lost to the Celtics in 7.
Oh, that was in the semis.
Yeah.
Oh, shoot. Felt like a conference finals game.
It did. It really did.
Oh, because they played the Heat the next one. Yeah, you're right.
Never again. Don't do that again. But anywho, other teams, the Lakers, they're 4-2. I will say this about the Lakers because I pointed this out before that the personnel isn't all that great, but they are 4-2. Our schedule was very, very difficult. Like, I mean, the Suns twice, Sacramento, Cleveland. That's a pretty tough schedule. Like, good God, to start the season off like that. We finally got a layup in the Toronto Raptors.
And that was a close game.
But all in all, we did beat some really good opponents, so I'm happy for that. I'm still not all the way sold on this team. We need a bench. We need some players on our bench. It's really bad right now.
I think that's all stats says. Y'all, the starters are averaging like 90 points, but the bench is only averaging like 20.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you put Roy in the starting lineup. Is your bench is going to become more depleted, and then Jared Vanderbilt, he's still dealing with injury. Christian Wood as well.
For like 2 years.
I know, and Anthony Edwards even pointed out during the game, like, damn, bro, like you've been hurt for 2 years, and you like what's going on? Oh yeah, and then we also beat Minnesota as well, so we have some great wins on the schedule, but right now we still have to address that bench because it is just bad. Maybe when the guys get healthier. Like a Christian Wood and a Jared Vanderbilt, it'll really help our team. But right now, it's just bad. Like Gabe Vincent is ass. He is garbage.
Another heat fleece.
He should be in the G League right now. He does nothing for our team. He can't shoot.
They always get away with this.
I know, bro.
They always get these dudes, and they look good on the Heat. They lead the Heat, and they be garbage.
He's so sorry, bro. He does nothing for the offense.
Max Strus is a good.
Yeah, he's okay. I mean, he can shoot a little, but that's about it. But man, like he does nothing for our offense, bro. Like they put him on the court, and he can't make a 3-point shot. He's an undersized guard. Like, what are you on the court for? Like, you're an undersized guard. So you can't really defend much. You're not versatile at all defending anybody, really. Like, you can only defend point guard. So what are you on the court if you can't shoot? You're a liability.
And, this all goes back to Rob Pelinka because he sat there in free agency and watched all these moves happen. And he was just like,
whatever.
Yeah.
He was like, we'll figure it out during the season. Like, what?
And then Braun was waiting, too. He was like, the Jeopardy music was playing, and he said, "Fine, just give me my money, because y'all ain't gonna spend the money nowhere else. Just give it to me."
Yeah, just give it to me. Dalton Connect, he's been good for us. He's been a good rookie. He can stretch the floor. He can do a little bit of things, but besides that, I mean, we need somebody else on the bench because right now it's just not working, bro. Like Gabe Vincent and Max Christie has to play a lot better too because he's been underwhelming. Like we paid you that money, we expect you to take another leap, and you just haven't done that yet. I need him. It's really him. Like if he can take that leap this season, then the bench will be a lot better. We won't have to really worry too much because we have Dalton Connect. If he can take that leap as well, if he can stretch the floor and hit his shots, then we'd be good. But he's not doing that consistently, and we want him to be a two-way player for us. That's why we re-signed him, because we think that he can be a two-way player, and we felt like Darvin Ham was holding him back. Well, now you're getting the minutes that you want. Where are you at? It's still the beginning of the season. There's still a lot of time left. But come on now. We need you in order to make this playoff run, in order to get into the playoffs and to try to compete. Because if not, then we're pretty much screwed. We're gonna have to make some trades. We're gonna have to do some deals because putting so much emphasis on you getting time on the floor and you're not doing anything really consistently, it's just not going to work for us, and we need to do something because right now we're 4-2. We're still in a great position, but my God, we got to figure something out. Maybe I think the starting lineup should be the starting lineup. I don't think you should do any changing or anything. You shouldn't put Dalton Connect in the starting lineup. You shouldn't put anybody in the starting lineup. That's the starting lineup. I think that starting lineup last year won us majority of the games anyway. That was the best starting lineup for us from a winning perspective last year. I like the starting lineup. It's just that bench, man. We got to figure something out. Maybe you have to, I don't know, somebody from our starters. Maybe you have to like change some minutes around, have them play with the bench a little bit more. But we got to figure something out because this ain't working. But just going other stuff like the Golden State Warriors, I'm not sold. I don't think the 4-1 record is really all that impressive to me. They're playing bad teams. The Pelicans are not all that great, and they played the Utah Jazz. Yeah. Like, come on now. Like, I'm not sold. I'm not sold at all. I don't think they're all that great.
I think they played. I want to say they played the Trailblazers too.
Yeah, they played the Trailblazers. Yeah. They blew them out first game of the season. But the Trailblazers are awful. Like they're one of the worst teams in the NBA. I want to talk about the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets, last night I was watching that game towards the end where
saw it too. I was like, oof.
Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards came up big. He was doing his thing in the clutch. But the Denver Nuggets, man, what a fall from grace. I thought that, hey, this might be a team that could win multiple championships. Because the way that they were built, the way that the front offense was running, I thought, man, they're going to do so many amazing things for years to come. But, dog, ever since they won the championship, they just made wrong move after wrong move. They have no bench. They're giving Russell Westbrook minutes. I knew they were going to lose the game when they have Russell Westbrook in the closing lineup. I'm like, there is no way they're winning this game with Russell Westbrook in the closing lineup. And what happened? They lost the game. Anthony Edwards was able to hit some clutch shots. They were able to get some clutch rebounds. And that was that. And I am so happy that the downfall is happening for the Denver Nuggets because they were talking all that trash to my team. They were running up the score against my team, and then they signed Russell Westbrook. They get what they deserve. This is what they wanted. This is the organization. They decided to not re-sign Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They decided to select all these players in the draft, and they have just whiffed on all of them. Ever since they've drafted Michael Porter, Jamal Murray, Nikola Jokic, they have just whiffed on all their draft picks. It has just been bad. And this is the new CBA. You're gonna have to draft now. You're gonna have to really do good evaluations in the draft, because now you're not going to be able to run up the score. You're not going to be able to get all the top free agents because, we have our ownership makes all of this money. Like, no, you can't do that anymore. And now they're paying the price. They're paying the price. That whole model of, hey, we're just going to run it with one superstar and a borderline all-star. It's not going to work. It was fun while it lasted. Oh, Jamal Murray, all he has to do is turn it up in the playoffs. It was fun while it lasted. Now Jamal Murray, why hasn't Jamal Murray ever been an all-star? Well, he ain't even close to one anymore. So
yeah, he's cooked food.
Yeah, pretty much. He was a good dude. He's getting close to a good dude tier.
I think he's already there. I seen one play. I was like, yo, this dude, he can't create no separation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He doesn't have the burst anymore. He doesn't have the quickness to get his shot off. Womp, womp, womp.
At least they got a ring, though. A lot of dudes ain't getting any rings. So.
Yeah, they capitalized on the window. They did, but they could have had more if they didn't. If they weren't dumb and drafted well and developed well and re-signed their players instead of just letting them walk. They could have been competitive, but now they're not. They're just one of many teams. They're not the team anymore. They look old. They look sluggish. They don't look as imposing as they used to. They used to be the team that everybody looked to and like, shit, they're going to outsmart us. They're going to out-execute us in the fourth quarter. They used to be the fourth quarter team. And then all of a sudden, Minnesota Timberwolves, they played the Minnesota Timberwolves, and Anthony Edwards like, watch this. We ain't scared of you.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, watch this. We ain't scared of you.
Looked them in the eyes.
Looked them in the eyes. Was not intimidated at all. But yeah, OKC 5-0. That's expected. They're the best team in the West right now. Phoenix.
I ain't expect them to be 4-1.
Phoenix. I mean, the West is not good.
Who do they even play? Let's see who
they beat
play.
us.
I know they
beat the Mavericks, which is a good team. They beat the Pistons, the Clippers. But I mean listen. Oh, they also beat the Nuggets. Oh no, that might have been a preseason game. That was a preseason game. Yeah.
They beat the Clippers, y'all,
Mavericks,
and the Clippers again.
I mean, that's not a bad schedule.
It's not. But
that's not a bad list.
It's not
of
like
wins.
a gauntlet. Or
No. Like us, I felt like it was a gauntlet. Like,
I mean, new regime, like new coaching and all that. So yeah.
But beating the Lakers and the Mavericks, those are two really good wins. So I'll give them credit on that one. I never thought that the Suns were going to be a bad team.
Oh no.
I just think that winning a championship, I don't see them really winning a championship.
I don't think that 3-star model is.
I don't think they have I don't think their defense is good enough to compete for a championship, but they do have enough talent to really boast well, like compete in the regular season. So those are two really good wins. Mavericks and Lakers, those are really two good wins. And I mean, they're top two in the West right now. It is early though.
Hey,
but
we might have to have a conversation about Ant-Man.
What in terms of what? In terms of top 10? I mean,
I think
dude is
he's playing at a MVP pace level right now.
No, he's like that, bro. But I don't know. I got to see more before I really put him in that tier.
He's on his way. He's on his way. Yeah, he's averaging about 30, 29.8, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and he's shooting lights out from 3. Like, he's the second player in NBA history to start the first 5 games of the season with 5 made threes. Mm-hmm. And the only other person to do is the greatest shooter of all time, Steph Curry. Mm-hmm. I want to see if it's sustainable. I don't think shooting at that clip is sustainable.
Come back to this conversation in December.
December? Okay.
December, yeah. Give it a month and a half. And if he continues to play this way, then we can have conversations about, all right, he's in the top 10 now. But as of right now, still a wait and see for me. I don't want to all of a sudden crown him too much because that's what the media does a lot of times. They tend to crown these players way too early.
And then when they underperform later on, they're like, well, why this person sucks? And it's like, what? You the one who put him there.
Like in the playoffs, like the previous season with Ant, they were starting to like really crown him and everything. Like, nah, like let's calm down. He's not a superstar yet. He's getting there. He's teetering on superstar, but let's see what he can do when it matters most. And he folded. Let's be real. So I got to see more from him before we really get him to that tier list. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a superstar in my opinion, and he still has a ways to go. Let's see.
I just wish, man. I know this ain't. I just wish Jayson Tatum. He always does this in the regular season. He's averaging 30, gets to the playoffs, and it's like, where he at? Can you please just, even if you have to sacrifice some games, like take 16 games from the regular season where you stink up the joint, so you could put them 16 into the playoffs? Because every year this man is going crazy.
He's playing a lot better. He's actually playing better than last year. In my opinion. As of right now, again, a small sample size, but. He's shooting the ball a lot better. The Indiana game, he was 5 for 18 from 3, which is not good. But
that's a lot.
That's a lot of threes. I ain't gonna lie. That is a lot of threes.
What has Mike D'Antoni done to my league?
I don't know. You gotta ask him yourself because it's been pretty bad. But regardless, I mean, he's averaging 30. He's shooting 77% from the free throw line. It was kind of weird. 37% from 3, which in this day and age for Jayson Tatum isn't all that great. I mean, it's average, but you expect him to shoot a lot better. But he's shooting 48% from the field. Like, he's shooting pretty well, and they're 5-1. The Celtics are playing great. I think they're number 1 in points per game. The Celtics have been the Celtics, as we expected. They have a great offense. They have a lot of great players on the court that can shoot the ball. This is not surprising for me. You know, Jayson Tatum, he wants to use what happened in Team USA as like motivation and stuff. I have to see it to believe it. When we get to December, when we get to January, then I'll be like, all right, maybe he is the MVP this year. But as of right now, I'm not going to worry too much about it. I think that's just smoke and mirrors. I'm not going to pay attention to that too much. You know, guys like to say, oh, you Steve Kerr, it's his fault. Y'all should blame Steve Kerr because he didn't play me all the minutes, even though we won the chip regardless. And that's another thing. Like, the media just keeps harping on, oh, Steve Kerr didn't play Jayson Tatum. That was a dumb decision. But they won.
They won the gold. Who cares?
Going away. Why does it matter? Oh, they didn't get Jaylen Brown to be on the team. But they won gold. Going away. Why does it matter?
What do you think about the Knicks so far?
Oh,
they had a pretty rough schedule.
They've been pretty good, man. I mean, I'm just looking at. They've been playing a lot better ever since they lost to the Celtics. They just looking at the schedule real quick. They're 3-2. They lost to the Cavs, which is not. That's not the worst. Listen, the Cavs are playing really good basketball right now. So I think what's happening with the Knicks is they're still trying to figure out different roles, who's the first option, who's the second option, third option, etc. Who's going to sacrifice this, who's going to do the dirty work here. But their 2 losses are against teams that are just chemistry-wise. They know they're familiar with one another, and they're playing really good basketball. Like Celtics and Cavs, those are the top 2 offensives in the NBA right now. Like, they're averaging the most points per game. So I'm not mad at them losing. It's not like they got blown out by the Cavs at all. So
True.
It's still early in the season. I expect the Knicks team by like January to finally find a groove, finally get it going. They beat Miami. They beat the Pacers by 1,000,000 points.
And the Pacers beat the Celtics.
So yeah, man, I think they'll be fine. Karl-Anthony Towns is playing a lot better.
Yeah,
that's a great sign. I was looking at I think it was either Miami. I think it may have been Miami where he dropped like 40 on them. Yeah, he dropped 44. So these are just some good signs that I like seeing from the Knicks. I think they're going to be great in the second half. Like, they're going to be one of them teams when March rolls around. You're going to be looking up at the Knicks and you're like, wow, this team is really, really gelling right now. They've really are dominating like all facets of the game. But right now, it's going to be ugly. It's going to take some time.
Yep. All right, the last team I want to bring up, What the heck is going on with the 76ers?
Well,
I know Embiid is hurt, but like how? When did he get hurt? Because he was literally just playing in the Olympics.
Well, you could tell that.
Yeah, he was horrible. You could tell. But like, why even play?
You know, Team USA was pressuring him. They were like, "Hey, we need you, dude. Like,
Joel, we need you.
We need you, bro. Like, I know you're not from the USA, and you were an immigrant, but hey, you've been living here for a minute now. You've been living here longer than you've been over in that area that you were previously.
Cameroon.
So why not play for us?" And he was like, "You know what? It's an honor." Playing for gold.
Or was he from France? Oh.
No. He's from Cameroon. You're right. I think he's from Cameroon, somewhere like that. And you know, it's the closest he'll ever be to winning a championship. So hey, he's like, man, I got to take advantage of this opportunity, playing with all these other players. And lo and behold, you know, hey, salute to him. Sacrifice your body to play for Team USA so we can get the gold. Salute to him. But again, him and Paul George, injury prone. It's not really surprising. I mean, this is who they are, and they sacrificed their cap space, and now they're gonna have to deal with it. It seems like they're banking on the fact that they believe this is going to be a second half team, and that they'll go on a run. But we've seen teams that are consistently banged up, like the Clippers, or in previous years the Lakers too. They're banking on the fact that they'll eventually play together and that they'll eventually get chemistry. The Brooklyn Nets with James Harden, Kyrie, and Kevin Durant, and they'll go on a run. Okay.
The Pelicans too.
Okay. Well, generally speaking, that has not boded well. From a chemistry standpoint, a lot of times that season, those teams underperform. They might make it to the playoffs as like an 8th or 7th seed, and then they'll get swept. That's usually how it happens.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I wasn't very high on the 76ers. I had them my third team. I think the Knicks are the best bet to dethrone the Celtics. But, you know, some people, they think that the 76ers are better than the Knicks, that they're the best team, that they can compete with the Celtics. I just don't believe that at all.
I don't either.
I don't think they have the defensive wings to stop anybody on the Celtics. I don't think defensively they're good enough, and their star players are always hurt. Paul George is up there in age; he can't separate as he used to. And Tyrese Maxey is an amazing player, but he's only one guy.
Yeah.
So that's just what they did. That Daryl Morey, he banked on this, and they're just gonna have to ride with it.
Well, it's Philly sports, so sucks to suck.
Yeah, sucks to suck. What about your Wizards, man? How you feel about your Wizards?
They won the last 2 games, and of course they played the Hawks 2 times in a row, but they won. I'm liking what I'm seeing out of the young guys. I'm not going to lie. Especially Bilal Cullaby.
He's been amazing.
He's playing really good. He's giving me Kawhi vibes.
Oh, here we go. You're the second person I heard say that.
Yeah, man, but I didn't expect him to make this big. I know it's early in the season, anything can happen, but he's made a pretty significant leap. He wasn't really a scorer like at all last year, but now he's really starting to get it going. And long as the younger guys, like the rookies, contribute. Alex Sarr, he started off a little rough, but I think he's going to be one of those dudes that get better as the season progresses. And yeah, man, it's just Steele, Coach Steele, he's been getting these boys ready to play. So I'm just you know, I still want to capture the flag personally, but listen, I just want to see some good improvement from the younger guys, you know.
Be competitive but still lose.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really what it all is about. Hey, be competitive but still lose. And you know, the lottery, you don't have to have the worst record in order to be in you know, capture the flag, but you still want to be in position, good position, percentage-wise, to at least get him. So, I mean, that's great. That's great to see that the Wizards are finally finding some sort of optimism. There's some sort of future that we can see, because
it was looking dark. It was dark,
looking very dark. So,
shoot, Washington sports as a whole, they starting to get back on track.
Yep. Oh, yeah, and lastly, unfortunately, you know, Paolo, he's going to be out.
Tore his oblique or something like that.
He's going to be out for a little while. It's unfortunate. He scored 50 the other night. He's been absolutely tremendous. One of the future faces of NBA, and for him to,
which is crazy, he wasn't getting much coverage at all.
No, he wasn't, and he was starting to like really come to his own. The media was starting to talk about him a little bit more, and then boom, injury happens.
When he came into the league and draft, like no one was really talking about him. I'm like, dude, this is like he's like really freaking good. What's going on here?
Yeah, one of the better number 1 picks in a while. So it's unfortunate to see him having to go out for an extended period of time because he was really starting to get it going, and he's one of the better young players in NBA. He's gonna have a bright future in this league, and hopefully he brings more winning to the Orlando franchise. I mean, they really overachieved last year. I think they 4th or 5th seed, and took the Cavs to 7 games, almost won it if some of their players showed up. But now he's going to be out, and now we're going to have to be it's going to be those prime time Orlando Magic games on ESPN and TNT without Paolo Banchero, and yet again another dud on national television.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Just imagine. I hope they don't have like a Miami Heat versus a Magic game without Paolo Banchero on national television, because that would be a snooze fest. That would be one of those I am going to watch something else.
You catch the highlights on them type of games.
Yeah, those one of those type of games.
The highlight recaps or something. Okay, so one last thing I want to bring up. This isn't about any specific. Why do you think the viewership is still declining at the rate it is for the league? Because people want to say, because illegal stream. Listen, illegal stream has been out for years.
For sure, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
And why is it only affecting the NBA to this degree? Because NFL viewership is still what it is. I know because they put the on regular cable and stuff. But like, if cable's the argument, people ain't watching cable, then how come the NFL is doing good?
Yeah, even when you put it on Peacock, even when they put it on other streaming
Prime
platforms,
Video, like
still
people go out their way to watch the NFL. Why aren't people going out their way to watch NBA games? Is what I want to know.
Marketing is just not good. Like the way that they market the games is just not good because again, it's centered on players rather than teams. So when you center all your marketing on players rather than teams, the only reason people are going to watch the game is because this player is playing. And when you eliminate that player, when you take that player out of the picture, then you get to the point of, I don't really want to watch this game anymore. Like Orlando Magic is a perfect example with Paolo Banchero. Like you take Paolo Banchero out of the team, he's hurt for a while. Well, I don't want to watch Magic games. I don't want to watch them on national television against the Miami Heat or a Celtics team that's going to blow them out because it's just not interesting without him on the court. And that's part of the reason why I believe the NBA is in this sort of realm where the viewership is going down because, again, they don't have a lot of big-name stars anymore. It's LeBron, it's Steph, it's KD, and we got Giannis. But
they're trying to prop up Anthony Edwards.
They're trying to prop up Anthony Edwards, but he's still. I think Ant is getting to the point where he's becoming a face of the league. I think he has gotten to that point where now people will go out of their way to watch Anthony Edwards play on national television. But it's not a whole lot of guys like that. Like you're not gonna go out your way to watch a Sacramento Kings game. Even though Fox is an amazing player, Sabonis is an amazing player, you're not gonna go out your way because they don't market them that way. The Celtics, although the Celtics are great, Jayson Tatum is not like a flashy player. Like he's an amazing, efficient player, but he's not one of those dudes that is great to watch on your television screen. He's just not because he shoots a bunch of threes. Honestly, the Celtics team in general is not a good team to watch because they shoot a bunch of threes. And they're not they are athletic, but they're not like jumping out of the gym. Like they're not dunking all the time. It's a lot of 3-pointers, a lot of mid-range. It's not all that fun. Like the difference between the Celtics and let's say the Warriors in like 2016 to like 2019 is that Curry, he would do a lot of dribble moves, he would do a lot of flashy dribble moves.
But the thing about the Warriors is it wasn't watered down at that point.
It felt, you know what the Warriors felt like? It felt like
fresh.
They felt like the Globetrotters, where they would do a lot of trickery stuff. They would shoot a lot of threes, but like they would also do a lot of stuff that would be like playground sort of. Like Steph Curry would do some amazing behind the back stuff, and he'll break somebody's ankles, and then he'll throw like a lob to somebody. He'll do a no-look lob sometimes. Like, he'll do some crazy stuff you've never seen before. While with the Celtics, it's very fundamentally sound, but it's not all that fun to watch. Like, if you're somebody that, you know, you're studying the game, you want to improve your game, and you're looking for inspiration, yeah, the Celtics would be something great to watch, because a lot of them, they're like very fundamentally sound, but ultimately they're just not fun to watch. And that's the problem with the product. It's a lot of guys shooting threes. The marketing isn't all that great because it's centered around players a lot of times. They're trying to do a better job in like sort of eliminating load management, or at least trying to lessen the amount of load management, which they are. They're doing a better job of that, but ultimately that still hasn't helped them. I don't know how they can improve it unless they market it a little differently towards team rather than just player. I don't know. I don't even know if that's gonna work.
So I have something interesting, little tidbit. Yeah. So NBA writer, he has come out. I don't remember his name, but I know he covers the sport. He said the reason why they don't do like how NFL does breakdowns and stuff like that is because the NBA fan base and the consumers of content, they want slop. They want the majority as like the majority. They want slop. They're not interested in the X's and O's of basketball. They just want the narratives and the stuff that we see on TV. So that's what they produce. They say they want to make this kind of stuff, but the viewers literally won't engage with it.
I find that hard to believe.
I don't.
Really? You think there's actually like the casual fan? Like, you think that they don't care about X's and O's?
I do. I don't think they care.
I
feel like because the way basketball as it is, there's obviously like nuances in the game and stuff, but like from the fan point of view, you just put ball in hoop. At least in the NFL, you have to have some baseline knowledge. Like, okay, what a formation is 11 players offense, 11 players on defense. It's like a whole different type personnel groups and coaching. But in basketball, it's the same 5 dudes playing until substitutions happen. They play both sides of the ball, and the only thing fans need to know is pick and roll and put ball in hoop.
Well, that comes down to the people commentating on the game. Like, you have to like really explain just how difficult and just the nuances regarding just playing in the NBA and what this player is thinking. And there are moments where they do that, where like they like LeBron will make a play, he'll make a read, and like they really break it down to a degree that makes it not just, it's a simple, he sees this and he just does that. Like, nah, he actually is thinking a step ahead than his competition, and I like when they do that. I think that guy is wrong. I think he really is wrong from the standpoint that if they would do more like the NFL, it would make the product better. I think the problem is that there's not enough of that. Like, it's too simple. It's too, all you got to know is, pick and roll, and this guy is coming off the screen, he's going to shoot a 3. I think we need to learn more about just how technical NBA basketball is, because I think a lot of times these people think that it's so easy. What they do is so easy. Well, no, it's not. It's a lot of thinking. It's a lot of read and reacting, and that's the problem with the game today. It just seems like people think, all they're doing is just shooting threes. All you have to do is shoot a 3, and that's that. But it's really more to it. And if they can really get back to the fundamentals of the game, teaching the game, talking about all the different things that these great players are seeing, I think the fans will enjoy it a lot more. I feel like for instance, I think football, they would have these different type of cameras. I remember there was one time where like you can, like the camera set up in a way where you can see the vision of the quarterback. Or they'll have it like the camera set up in a way where it's like really close to the field, per se. Like, you have the all 22, and then you have a camera where it's like so close to the field that you feel like you're at the field.
Okay, I get what you're saying.
So they need to have like different type of cameras where you feel like you're in the game. You feel like you're at the arena watching it on the court. And if they can like add something to that, it will bode well to the experience, because right now, like just watching a regular game, it gets kind of boring. And if you're watching like a bad matchup per se, I think in order to make the feel a lot better, add like different stuff. Okay, what are the players saying on the court?
FCC violation incoming, because you know them players
I know,
be saying whatever.
I know, but what are they saying on the court? What's the sound like in the arena? I remember, I'll give you an example. So college football, right? At times, I stream the games on ESPN. So like a big college football game will come on, and they have like the Sky Cam, and then they have the regular cam, which is like, you know, what everybody watches. I watch the Sky Cam at time, and you can listen to everything that's going on in the arena. You can listen to just the crowd itself. Like, you don't hear commentating. You don't hear the commentators. Like, if you feel like you're actually in the game, and the Sky Cam is a different cam, like you actually see the whole field. It's like
you're in the stands or something.
Yeah. It's actually, honestly, it feels like you're actually in the field, really. Because it's like it's like an all 22 sort of, but like a little bit closer to the field, and you can hear just all the different sounds, and that is great because I feel like I'm actually on the field and I'm getting like that full experience, and I could really like just lock in and see what's going on in the game, and I'm not distracted by the commentators. They need something like that. They need more of that instead of just, okay, here's one camera, here's two cameras, and here's commentators. Now, they do have, I think TNT does have something like TNT Overtime, but like the cameras aren't all that great. It's just, in my opinion, it's just not all that great. They need to do something like that in order to like add to the experience, because right now, I think they're just doing the same thing they've always done. They got to change something up.
You know, I think it's a multitude of things. I can't just pinpoint on one thing. I do think they could emphasize more on the X's and O's of the game, but it's also, on another end, the turnaround for these games is such a short span compared to in the NFL. You have like a whole week to break down film. You can pretty much do a multitude of things. But in the NBA, you know, teams behave. They may play Monday, and they have a game on Wednesday. So, you know, that turnaround is much shorter. And honestly, the regular season games, they don't really mean as much in the grand scheme as compared to NBA games. So it's just kind of hard. I guess they would rather not, these media people, platforms and stuff would rather just focus on pushing out the stuff they can get out quickly versus trying to be all intricate and try to break down. Like, no one's going to watch Magic offensive strategy breakdown. Like, let's be honest. And so, yeah, I don't know what they can do, honestly, because it's getting bad. I'm not buying the whole everyone's using streams bull crap.
Yeah, I'm not buying it either. I think that's bullshit. It's just a lazy way to try to defend the NBA. Like, nah, they actually have to do a better job with the product, because the NFL is actually trying different stuff. Like, you can tell, like, Amazon is doing an amazing job of like trying different stuff.
Even though the games may be in, but
they're still doing a great job. Like, bruh, we know Thursday Night Football, their games aren't all that great, but they have like all 22 cam, next gen stats on the side that you can see different stuff. They actually have a person on the other cam like breaking different stuff down, analytical stuff. I love that. That is amazing, and that would bode well for the NBA, but they're not doing any of that. They're not investing in any sort of things that can really improve just the product of the game. They're just doing the same old stuff they done for the past 20 years and expecting us to all of a sudden like it. Like, no, if you want us to get excited about a game, invest it into a game, you're going to have to go the extra mile. And I think another thing is obviously the time of the game. Like, they're just, the time slots for these games are just bad. Like, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, like, people not trying to watch basketball on Tuesday or Wednesday. Like, people
at
tired.
Least not when football season is over.
People tired. Like, Thursday is fine, but then you got NFL. But I still think Thursdays are fine. Fridays are fine.
Fridays.
Saturdays, Sundays. But when you got Tuesdays, Wednesdays, like people ain't gonna be able to watch those games. Like the games that really matter on the Thursdays and the Fridays and the Saturdays. Like those are the perfect. Like all right, we can really get into those games, but they don't do enough. Even when it's those days, like you're supposed to really go the extra mile. And I think the commentary as well, like some of these commentators just aren't that good. Besides Kevin Harlan and what's his name?
The dude that be screaming
on ESPN.
ESPN.
Mike Breen.
Yeah, Mike Breen.
Yeah, besides those two.
I like the dude that commentates the Hornets games. And he does like some college football stuff too.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about. And then I mean they have some, but like I'm not even talking about them specifically. I'm talking about the you have the former athletes that are commentating on the game and stuff like the Reggie Millers and all that. They're not all that great.
Yeah,
they're not all that great. There are some like I like former coaches that commentate on the games because they really break down stuff really well. But like the former players, like some of them dudes aren't all that great, and they're pretty much annoying. And that's what's missing.
Webber.
That's what's missing. What I love is like when they break down like, okay, this player said X, Y, and Z. Oh, they need to do this, do that. At this point of game, that is great. Like I really enjoy when they start saying stuff like that, but it's not always the case. But they're gonna have to figure something out because I know they're moving to they got Peacock and I think Netflix maybe they might have a deal with Netflix and I think they have a deal with Amazon. No, it's NBC, Amazon, and Peacock / NBC. Yeah, so they're gonna have to figure something out, man, because they can't just keep doing the same old stuff. It's just not gonna work. So. All right, that'll do it for our NBA podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, hit the notification bell, follow the socials as well, and we'll see you all in the next episode of the Courtside View Podcast. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.
Salute.
Just let me be me.